time for the Morning Watch with the Reverend Dr. Dylan Toussaint.
Listeners to Love 101 FM are advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org, and if you're overseas and on the move, U.S. listeners can access us at 712-832-8001. And if you're in the UK, 0330-332-6541, or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube Live. In the first watch today, the importance and the value of investing in women's sports. And in the second watch, why not have 12 days to celebrate Jamaica? For our social media question, we asked, what do you think about a 12-day long celebration in honor of Jamaica's emancipation and independence? We're asking you to share your responses on our Love 101 FM Facebook page and the YouTube channel. And also on WhatsApp, 876-997-3125, using the hashtag #TheMorningWatch. We'll share your responses later on in the program, but before all of that, here's I quote.
All right, good morning. Today's I quote is an island quote from Cuba, and it says, "There is no better mirror than the face of an old friend." So, again, there is no better mirror than the face of an old friend.
Great. Good morning, Jokal.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing well, and you?
I'm doing well.
Great. I don't know if you're able to watch the football match earlier.
I did. I got up just as it went to halftime, so I didn't catch the second half of it.
Yes, one defensive error cost us the match.
Just one. Boy.
But I think they have done marvelously well.
Yes, I'm extremely proud of them.
Yes. The first watch will be back after this break.
When you sweat, you lose more than water. That's why Gatorade has fluids to hydrate, electrolytes to replenish, and carbs to fuel. For over 50 years, Gatorade has been studying sweat to understand what the body loses and what it needs. We have sweat down to a science. Gatorade. Sweat is glory.
We are a proud, resilient nation and growing stronger.
Together we'll make the future bright. With you by our side. One love. Black, green, and gold all the way.
Keeping the ring strong. No flow from Flow, Jamaica's network. Me pull up at the gas station and the attendant come up.
87 or 90.
I don't know why him think I would put 87 in my new car. But me inside. But when him say
Cash or card?
me say, big man, why would I take my cash and buy gas? I pay for everything with my Surgical Bank credit card. Grocery, gas, bills. Cause when you use your card, you get your reward. If I pay cash, you are gonna give me a reward.
We can wipe your windscreen.
Earn the best rewards ever with Surgical Bank credit cards. Conditions apply.
Make an impact on your career. Earn real money. Get 3 to 4 local and international certification in practical nursing and early childhood education with free CXC or CAPE subjects in 6 to 12 months at Distinction College, located at 26 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 6 Nugent Street, Spanish Town, and Ocho Rios. Earn global certificates in 3 months in geriatric nursing, phlebotomy, childcare. We have the lowest school fees around. Classes begin very soon. Call us 356-41 4167.
You want win millions this summer. I win your link
Win a share of millions this summer in the Link Your Best Life promotion. To enter, use Link to collect $1,000 or more in MoneyGram transfers or pay $1,000 or more to top up your phone, transfer money to a friend, pay your bills, and pay for things wherever Link is accepted. Link Your Best Life this summer and win. The more you link, the more chances to win. Visit lynk.us for more details. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Now, it's the season for Jamaica in sports. The world has been calling our name. The girls have been making us prouder than usual. Between ending a 16-year drought on the court and making history on the field, we have lots to celebrate. But is this enough to take our girls seriously and put our pockets where our mouths are? Will we now spend as much on females in sports as we do for the males, as they prove in some respects by even having better results? Well, to address these and other related questions, we have online David Richards, lecturer, sports science at UTech, and Andre Virtue, director of Ballers International. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great. Good to have you both of us, gentlemen. What are your opening thoughts with the recent achievements of the Reggae Girls, the Sunshine Girls, and the women's volleyball team? Beginning with you, Mr. Virtue.
Definitely a lot to celebrate. As a Jamaican, just proud to see the flag being flown so high, and remarkable achievements being done by all the girls that have displayed such heart and pride for our country. Definitely, just a joy to watch and to see them progress and have the world watching. And I think it does great for sports in general, it does great for the females in sport, and just for the country.
Yeah. Mr. Richard, your opening thoughts?
Yeah, I share the same thoughts as Virtue. I'm happy that we are on a mission, basically, or the females are on a mission to demonstrate or display their prowess in their different areas of sports. And it is doing well, and wonders, sorry, for Jamaica on the international market.
Yes. And having given those expressions, gentlemen, what are your main concerns, though, with the level of investment that has been given to the female sports or to female sports vis-a-vis male sports over the years? Mr. Virtue, Andre?
Yeah, it's really a challenging debate. I know over the years we've had, especially with the netballers, we're ranked third in the world for quite a while, and it's the only internationally ranked team that we have across all our sports. Yet still they weren't getting the respect or the support that they deserve. So definitely seeing that as a concern. And I think as the girls continue to do well in other sports, you begin to ask the question, why is there not more support for them? What are the reasons why they're not getting the support? Is it a respect issue? Why do we not want to invest? So the challenges that I have is that they have done the same in terms of effort and trying to break all the different challenges that we're having in sports, lack of funding, resources not available, and they have been able to surpass those or overcome those things and still produce. And so, the challenges for me is how do we not support them based on their achievements and not just the fact that they are females or viewed less than males in sports generally.
Yeah. Your take on it, David?
Okay, so based on what is transpiring at this point, I believe that the females are basically the dominant figures for us to watch when we speak about sports. Sadly, they are not incentivized as how they should be. They are not supported as how they should be. Bringing all of this joy and glamour and brilliance and shine to Jamaica, raising Jamaica's flag. It is sad that they are not getting the equal support, equal pay as the mayors. But sadly, well, it's not unique to Jamaica, and that's something that's just a fact. And you'd have to look back at history, look back into history where this was basically coming from. You would have seen that even in the Asian Games, Olympic Games, where females weren't allowed to participate in sport, they were seen as the home figures where they would take care of the children and support the husbands and all. So they weren't seen as athletes really. And I believe that up to this point is something that is just emanating and just still being stagnant as a pool of water that consists of just stagnant, not moving forward. You understand? So even though I should not say that because there has been a slight improvement, but nonetheless, the ideal improvement that we would have wanted to see, we're not seeing it in at all, regardless of
Yeah. So, Mr. Richard, here it's clearly you're saying that historically the women are not seen as equals even in terms of their talents, their abilities in the sporting arena. David? I'm not hearing him. The virtue is there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm still here.
Right. What's your take on that? I don't know what's happening with Mr. Richard. I'm not hearing him right now.
Well, as a coach and a former athlete, I'm my thoughts is not necessarily about equal. It's about respect and value. I do think there's a business side to sport that has impacted and does influence. So I share some of the sentiments that David mentioned about the history and culturally on the role that women are perceived in society. But coming of age and where we are right now, I think it's about the respect that they should have and the value that they contribute within their sport. So let's take, for example, equal pay, male and female, in terms of who comes and watches the games, where does the revenue come from, how are we able to pay. I think within each sport there are some investments that need to be made relating to the development of the game, how the females are respected in terms of what they produce, and in turn, the support that is given. And then from that, if the support is there in terms of media coverage, in terms of people watching games, then the revenue that is associated with that now means that they deserve better and they should be paid better. To compare it with another sport or male, I think that we're always going to have the discussion about equal. I'm not necessarily, from my opinion, talking about the equal pay, but just about respect for what they bring to the table, what they have achieved, and based on their results, what they should then get because of what they have achieved.
All right, well said. We're up on a break, gentlemen. We'll be right back.
Get ready for another inspiring show this Testimony Tuesday inside Alive, 1 to 5, August 8. Packed with inspirational stories and island-flavored music. 1:45, we bring you the Brain Testament Size Listener Speak Edition. Stick around the prayer blast at 2 o'clock as we ring in the prayer bells of heaven. 2:15 inside the evidence, we share with you another powerhouse testimony boasting about the power of God. Then at 3 p.m., we go behind the pulpit for another anointed minister's story. All this and more will come alive 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. August 8 with me, Sarah Ann, the Chirpy One, on the family station Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
Touching lives every day. So many different ways, a part of all you do. Sagicor will make you feel secure. Reaching out for more, will always see you through. Reach for more, whatever you're dreaming, whatever your goals, will help you achieve them. You're never alone. Taking care of today's needs, take care of tomorrow's dreams. Every day helping you succeed, that's what Sagicor needs. Today's needs, tomorrow's dreams. Sagicor.
Here's OJ's Crime Stop Jamaica Unsolved. 32-year-old Wesley Trench, sales rep, Carreras Group Limited, was stabbed to death at 2 a.m. Saturday, February 11, 2023, in Priory St. Anne near the traffic lights. Citizens heard calls for help, but it wasn't until 5 a.m. that the body of Wesley Trench was found in a pool of blood beside his grey Hyundai Creta. Crime Stop and concerned family members are offering a total reward of $500,000 for information leading to an arrest and charge. Call Crime Stop Jamaica 311. Solving crime pays.
For 51 years, Under the Law has been helping you to know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. The program is brought to you on Tuesday by the Tourism Product Development Company Limited, enhancing and developing Jamaica's tourism product. Under the Law at 6:20 a.m., 2:35, 6:45, and 9:10 p.m. on Love 101 FM.
Hey, my peeps, get this on the regular. Your HIV status if you consider the least of a test once a year. Just 15 minutes for your status clear. Cause it might not show up on your timeline and you learn too late, so you're out of time. A progressive future, one little, really long life, our story. You hear?
Remember, update your status in a real life. Your HIV test today.
Just 15 minutes for your status clear. Really long life, our story. Real long life for say you, coming from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Have you follow Grace Sardine? Better flavor. Grace Sardine with the chef and the beginner. Follow the one with pepper. That are the winner. Shop on supermarkets. Everybody sell it. You all of them nice. Pass the part, me push it.
Grace Sardines, follow the better flavor.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint, and in this the first watch, we're looking on the importance and value of investing in women's sport. In so doing, we have online Andre Virtue, Director of Ballers International, and David Richards, who is a sports science lecturer at UTech. Welcome back, gentlemen. Good to have you with us still. Well, before the break, we're looking on the whole matter of what is. I think we had lost you momentarily, Mr. Richards. And I was trying to ascertain from you, is it just a cultural, historical fact that we need to bear in mind in regards to how women are seen in sports?
Yes, I believe so. And based on, if you look on it from a chronological view, you would see that, as was mentioned, in ancient Greece, how the women were perceived as it relates to them being participants in sports. They were basically the supporters. They weren't given that opportunity to showcase their prowess. However, in the modern games, things would have changed. And I believe that the scope of the Olympic movement would have changed sports in general. And so you would have seen now where women are given that opportunity to be a part of sports and somewhat to be looked upon in an equal manner. Mm-hmm. However, as a nation, I believe that we, considering the fact that we always speak about the 2030 vision, and it encapsulates or encompasses sorry, I have a noise in the background. It encompasses gender equality, you understand, as a sustainable goal. Then really and truly, as a nation, we should demonstrate to the world what that actually means, and we should move forward in that manner and create a change, considering that Jamaica is always seen as that little nation it can cause so much rupture in any situation.
Yes. Right. So David, while you sort out that noise in the background as you go to mute, Andre, still with
Yeah,
us?
I'm still here.
I'm wondering if the particular sporting event has anything to do with it. Is it that football? I mean, you just see it as a man sport. When it comes on to track and field, it's both because I don't think we have the same or the same level of concern for the athletes in track and field.
Well, that might be the case, but I think it's over time. Traditionally, our female or reggae girls were not on top. We had our own struggles, so the men were what was highlighted, and that's where everybody placed all their support around. We've now gone to 2 consecutive World Cups, and the females have definitely showed why they need to be there and need to be considered as a team that is to be reckoned with and to be supported. So I think when you look at that, it's probably more around what was exposed before. When you look on the track and field and the netball, they have been dominant in their sport over the years. So I'm not going to say it is a sport. I just think it's the exposure that is given to the females. I think the stories that that should be shared either through the media is not just about the victories and the losses, but around the participants. Sports is around the people, and if you share more of those stories, the struggles, the triumphs of getting past the hurdles and the challenges that sport creates, and then be able to compete, I think all of us can then buy into those stories and begin to now be caught up in that story and that those teams doing well. So that would be my take on that, not per sport,
Yeah.
but I think the exposure that they get.
Yes, yes. David, you're back with us without the noise? David?
Look like you dropped off again.
Jumped off again, right. I was going to ask both of you, since you're only one on now, Andrew, I have to ask you alone. I gather that one of the players, on the Reggae Girls, asking how comes we don't have any declaration of a public holiday for their remarkable feat in reaching the round of 16. What's your take on that?
Well, I think there's a process of those things. If based on yes, you hear me?
I don't know what that process.
All right.
Yeah, tell me more about that process, Andrew. Listening.
No, I'm just saying, as a government, we determine, or there are other factors that will come into play. I think there are personal views that there could be one, but if every time we have a feat, and as small as Jamaica is, we continue to do well on the international. So the netballers going to need an international day, the footballers, the cricketers. So I think there's a process that we have to do. I think behind it is just a recognition of the work that they have done, and I think if that recognition is given by the country, the appreciation, the love, when they return home, they don't feel that the country is behind them and supporting them. There will be less about this a national holiday because of it. It is definitely historic. I think it has to be applauded and recognized. But what we do as a country to support will make that cry a little different, I believe. It's just because there's a void or a gap of being recognized, being acknowledged, being respected. So there's going to be a ask for, give me that recognition. I need it. We need it. But I don't necessarily believe that. I think the government in their own processes would have to determine what that is. But I think it's us giving them the recognition that they deserve.
So, with the way forward now, what are some practical solutions to deal with this present scenario and concern, Andre?
Well, I think it's 2 things for me. I think it's the investment. Investment in women's sports, I think, is needed, and investment has to be seen more as a sports has to be seen more as an investment, because out of that investment there are enormous returns for us, and I think that is a perspective that has to shift across the media, across government, across our public and private sector, because I think that's kind of where from little kids in the grassroots all the way coming up through to our senior teams, there will be girls getting the opportunity to play and do it. So I think that has to be seen. I also think that the stories, I did mention that earlier, I think the stories have to be told. It's a part of the solution. It's a part of the narrative that when you listen to a Bonnie Shaw, or you listen to Melda Aiken, Fowler, or you listen to some of our other athletes, there's so much of what they have experienced and gone through that are life lessons, and it will inspire generations of people if those stories are told. And maybe not even the ones who have made it. Maybe some have gone to college, some have taken advantage of what sport has created for them. And I think those stories begin to do it. And I think the media, the third and final thing for me, I think I know the media has a role to play in that, obviously they are giving what the consumers would like. And obviously the consumers are after the excitement and, maybe the numbers. But I think in the midst of that, there's some responsibility that the media can take in bringing a balance to that though they are about results, there's still a lot to learn and to benefit from that journey and that process that goes in. And as a country, I think we want to hear those stories, and we want the media to help to do it, and not in the spin about equal pay and the negative things about bringing down the federations and the associations. I don't think that is that has to be done in terms of being accountable, but I think there are other parts of that sharing that needs to come out into the public space, that someone begins to see females and the women in sports in a different way, other than comparing them to men.
As you mentioned, sharing, Andre, should part of the blame also go to the associations, the board members, the government, and the Jamaican population in general, the fans?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that the governing bodies have a responsibility. They have a responsibility, and that's why I use the word investment. Both the associations or federations have a role to play to see how you invest in a sport, and you invest in a sport doesn't guarantee that you're going to win every trophy or win every championship. Investing in a sport is providing access to the sports, is providing persons to benefit from the sport. And I think that is important. I think the fans, they have to be educated as well. And education comes from exposure, comes from, sharing what's happening globally and not just in our own world. The more we travel, the more we experience, the more we have, it informs our fan base, it informs our media, it informs our sponsors, it informs the government. So I think it's exposure that will play a huge part in educating the population around supporting.
Yeah. Not sure if David is back with us, David. All right. Looks like you're alone, Andre. As we wind down our discussion, the future, therefore, of female sports in Jamaica, especially in light of the recent successes we have seen in the footballing arena, netball, and volleyball.
Yes. I think the future is bright. Definitely, when you are on the world stage and you do that, there are more eyes, there are more questions being asked. And I think we have the ability to learn from our previous successes we've had in sports generally, and to not do what we've done in the past and sit idle waiting for solutions to come our way. But I think there's a lot more people are more vocal, a lot more people are more pushing for better, and holding people accountable. So I think the future is learning from our past and seeing the value of investing in our youth and ensuring our grassroots programs are fully supported. And when the athletes or the players do well, it's our part to celebrate them, really celebrate them. I think that is, for me, the part that is.
I have to leave it there. Thank you so very much, David Richards, Andre Virtue, for joining us. Interesting comments. And I'm sure, Andre, when I say fervent opus in campus, you'll understand what I mean.
True blue for life.
All right. Listeners, the Morning Watch will return in just a moment.
Anything possible with a little savings in your hand.
The time by Jan Bank is
7:30.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Remember every dream where you have, remember everything where you plan. With J and Bank, anything possible. With a little savings in your hand. Save so you can build the house, buy the land. Do up goals and dreams like a plan. Save so you can start the business, get a car. Block the trip you want to. Save so you can.
Living your best life and making memories is priceless. But saving little by little is what makes it affordable. Stop wishing you could. With your Gen Bank savings, you absolutely can.
Save so you can build the house, buy the land. Do up goals and dreams like a plan. Save so you can make the part, travel far, getting it like a star. Save so you can.
Gen Bank will help you find a way.
Summertime, a time for choose, time for party, time for cut loose. Children play every day, run road trip and not get down here. Choose, when you feel it deep, chill with the friends and the vibes we choose. Feeling up, chill with the whole family and kick back on the bed. Summertime, a time for choose, time for party, time for cut loose. Choose goodness wherever, whenever. Choose. As we follow Grace Sardine, that's a flavor. Grace Sardine with the chef and the beginner. Follow the one with pepper, that's a the winner. Shop on supermarkets, everybody sell it. Do all of them nice. Pass the part, me push it.
Grace Sardines follow the better flavor.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's now look at the newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing in the Gleaner. Of course, Reggae Girls' historic run ends. Yeah. And then NAJ, president disappointed as majority of nursing nominees are snubbed for national honors. Also in the Observer, we see enumerate to participate. Malahoo Fort urges Jamaicans reminded to get on the voters list to take part in referendum on removing British monarchy. And also in Loop News, we are seeing that Jamaican in US on J1 visa charged with abandoning baby in the bushes. Wow. Those are some of the major headlines in our newspapers. Coming up next, we'll read some of the feedback from our social media question. What do you think about a 12-day long celebration in honor of Jamaica's emancipation and independence? We're asking you to leave a comment on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, Love 101 FM Jamaica, or WhatsApp 876-997-3125. We'll be right back.
Get ready for another inspiring show this Testimony Tuesday inside Alive 1 to 5 August 8, packed with inspirational stories and island flavored music. 1:45, we bring you the Brain Testing Mentor-Size Listener Speak Edition. Stick around for Prayer Blast at 2 o'clock as we ring in the prayer bells of heaven. 2:15 inside the evidence, we share with you another powerhouse testimony boasting about the power of God. Then at 3 p.m., we go behind the pulpit for another anointed minister's story. All this and more will come alive 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. August 8 with me, Sarah Ann, the Chirpy One, on the family station Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
Here is your opportunity to connect with someone who will listen, pray, and give guidance. It's the Ministry of Counseling and Prayer of the Edgewater Baptist Church. Please call 876-220-6474 or 876-332-7956. Weekdays between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Please talk to someone if you're finding it particularly challenging to cope during this period of crisis. Someone is waiting for your call. Please reach out today. 876-220-6474 or 876-332-7956. It's the telephone counseling and prayer ministry of the Edgewater Baptist Church. A reminder that somebody cares. Endorsed by Love 101.
When I come to the end of myself, Father, carry me.
What is it about the cross? Is it more than a gold, silver, wooden crafted pendant? More than an X that marks the spot? What do you know or should know about the cross? Why is it so important to us? And what does it even mean? Tuesday, August 8th, on The Rock, join host Bishop Harold Steve Blair and guests Reverend Dane Wilson and Evangelist Joseph Buckland as they discuss the topic, the cross. That's The Rock, Tuesday, August 8 at 10 a.m. right here on the family station, Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's now join Jukal for a look at how our Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp friends answered today's question. What do you think about a 12-day-long celebration in honor of Jamaica's emancipation and independence? Jukal.
All right, so we do have a response from Edna in Montego Bay. Let's hear what she has to say.
Good morning, Morning Watch. Good morning, Love 101 listeners and staff. My take on this 12th day of celebration, I don't think we need 12 days of celebration. It should remain as it is right now. I don't see where it will really benefit us as a nation and as a people at this time. Whereas if it interferes with the production of the country, I don't think we need 12 days. I think what we are doing now is enough.
All right, that was a response from Edna. We're going to listen to this one by Phyllis, and Phyllis is in St. Thomas.
Good morning. 12 days of celebration, 12 days of wasting. The best 12 days we should use it for is to work harder, 12 days harder in the country to build it up. We don't need no more holiday, because every day we are on holiday. So we don't need no more holiday. Because we are on people work, we are on holiday. We are in church, we are on holiday. We are in the bus, we are on holiday. We don't need no more holiday. Holiday is a waste of time.
And that was a response from Phyllis in St. Thomas. And that's the end of what the response is.
Some serious comments there.
It's very serious comments. Interesting.
Edna and Phyllis.
Yes.
Phyllis is saying we need no more holidays. Thank you. Thanks to the ladies for responding. We appreciate it. Well, as we segue into the second watch, according to a recent newspaper report, Kevin O'Brien Chang has suggested, and I quote, a last weekend in July with Reggae Sumfest, followed by a 4-day Emancipendence Bashment at the beginning of August, could become an internationally recognized world's greatest 12-day party, as big as or even bigger than Trinidad Carnival, end of quote. Well, to discuss this reported suggestion, we have joining us the person himself, Mr. Kevin O'Brien Chang, social commentator, as well as Pastor Christopher Kennedy, pastor of Joyland and Abrams Mennonite churches. Good morning to you both.
Morning, everybody. Morning. Good morning. So good to be on your program. Thanks.
Great. Good to have you both. Well, let me begin with you, Mr. Brian Chang. For the record, what really are you advocating, Jamaica's emancipation celebration?
No, the 12-day holiday is framed a little not correctly. We're not talking about 12 days of national of public holidays. What we're talking about is having the 1st and the 6th of August, right? Keep them as celebrate the days for Emancipation Day and Independence Day, where you have your commemorations and stuff. But the actual holidays itself, when people don't work, make it the 1st Friday in August and the following Monday. So you'd have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, just like you have Good Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Easter Monday. So you would have a 4 days holiday weekend. You know, 'cause you don't work Friday, you don't work Saturday, don't work Sunday, don't work Monday, right? The 12-day concept would be some festivals already there, where they have Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday of the some fest, right? People still work. Nobody takes off of some fest, right? And during the week you'd have holiday. But I'm just saying that visitors could come to Sumfest Thursday, Friday, Saturday, have their, reggae Sumfest draws tens of thousands of people. It's the biggest music festival in the country. Then you have the regular working days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. People can tourist can come go beach. And then the weekend now in August, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You can have the Dream Weekend in the Grill, which can get even bigger. And you have your cultural celebrations also, where the main of them would be in Kingston. You have the Grand Gala, like could have a reggae street parade. So that's where the 12 days is coming from, and not 12 days of holidays. You just build a 12-day festival around, you market it. And for the 4-day weekend, which would be the core of it, for the first Friday in August and the following Monday, give you a 4-day weekend there. Imagine you could plan everything in advance. You have 4 straight days of no working. You could have so many Jamaicans from abroad would come. Because when you come to visit now in Independence time, sometimes the first is a Tuesday, sometimes it's a Thursday. So your family comes and you can't really see them because most people are working. If you had a 4 straight days where you're going to see your family, I think everybody would be in favor of that. That, your family come abroad and you're going to see them for 4 straight days. But the most important factor is, Don Anderson poll was done in 2020.
Before you go there, Mr. Brian Chan, we're drawing close to a break, and I'd like to hear Pastor Kennedy's.
Well, that's one point. The polls have been taken, and 62% of Jamaicans are in favor of the 4-day weekend. Okay?
Yeah. Pastor, so far, what you have heard, because we need some further clarification. But so far,
I'm glad.
What are your thoughts?
I'm glad he persevered and talked about the survey. That's amazing. And I think Jamaica has struggled for a long time to kind of highlight many things. Think about our reggae girls and our sunshine girls and promote both and that kind of thing. We've missed opportunities like those. And I heard this recommendation. I got excited because I'm thinking that it's a great time, it is a great spare to just promote a lot of things. And I think people who are basically negative about it, they're just a misunderstood concept of holidays and a general time of celebration. So they're presupposing that it's going to fail. And I'm saying that if this is something that is going to draw the kind of support and give the kind of results that I hear being intimated, it's going to be enormous. And I mean, I don't think missing some days, even if it meant that, missing some days at work, even if it meant that, this would have made such a great contribution to our economy that I think the rest of the arguments would die.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, we are up on a break. We'll be right back.
Sardine for the chef and the beginner. Follow the pan with pepper, that are the winner. Shop on supermarket, everybody
Great
say
sardines, follow the better flavor.
The time is
7:45.
Get ready for another inspiring show this Testimony Tuesday inside Alive, 1 to 5, August 8. Packed with inspirational stories and island-flavored music. 1:45, we bring you the Brain Testing Size Listener Speak Edition. Stick around for Prayer Blast at 2 o'clock as we ring in the prayer bells of heaven. 2:15 inside the evidence, we share with you another powerhouse testimony boasting about the power of God. Then at 3 p.m., we go behind the pulpit for another anointed minister's story. All this and more will come alive 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. August 8 with me, Sarah and the Chirpy One on the family station Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
When you retire, you're still going to get up.
Rise and shine.
You're still going to get out, ready for the road, because you're retiring from work, not your lifestyle. With a Sagicor Lifestyle Approved Retirement Scheme, individuals can save up to 20% of their income towards retirement tax-free. So when you've reached retirement, you'll have more than a rocking chair waiting for you.
I'm ready for my day at the spa.
Start saving for your golden years with the Sagicor Lifestyle Approved Retirement Scheme. Apply online at elife.sagicorjamaica.com.
The number one paint for over 70 years, Berger has created a line of products that cannot be outperformed. Scientifically formulated for both interior and exterior surfaces, Berger paints are quick-drying, safer for you and the environment, and specifically designed to withstand our harsh tropical weather conditions. Now with over 2,000 colors and the ability to mix any custom color you want, Berger paints are simply unmatched. Choose Berger for lasting beauty and protection.
Every Wednesday at 11 a.m. on Love 101, you're invited to listen to Good Morning Minister, a weekly feature where government ministers will speak about the development in their various ministries. Listen for the updates and have your questions and concerns ready to share inside Good Morning Minister as the Minister of Information, Robert Nesta Morgan, and a guest minister or agency head discuss the issues and take your questions and suggestions. Get ready to call in during Good Morning Minister, 11 a.m. on Wednesdays, right here on Love 101, the family station.
From generation to generation, Jamaicans have depended on J&B Bank to make the pride and joy of providing a safe place for their families possible. Now, with no processing fees and no down payment mortgage options, you can open the door to your own sweet home, a legacy to hand to your next generation. Visit jnbank.com to get pre-approved today. J&B Bank will help you find a way.
You work hard to make Jamaica a first-class destination. Isn't it time you receive the 5-star benefits? Retire smarter with the Tourism Workers Pension Scheme, a portable plan that also provides your family with financial security in case of your untimely death. It's easy, affordable, and accessible online. Retire and relax with the Tourism Workers Pension Scheme. Visit twps.myguardiangroup.com or call 876-927-4105. Guardian Life. Live secure. Live easy.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint, and we have been discussing a suggestion that was reported in the newspapers coming from Mr. Kevin O'Brien Chang. Now, Mr. O'Brien Chang, just for clarification, you are not advocating a 12-day emancipation celebration. Seems to me you're advocating a 4-day emancipation celebration, beginning Friday, the first Friday, and ending the Monday.
Yeah, there are holidays, 4-day emancipation holiday, but we can't have the 12 days of celebration. You know, I mean, you can celebrate and still go work, you know. But let me correct a misperception. Many people have Jamaica has a lot of public holidays. Actually, we have the least amount of public holidays in the Caribbean. The most is the U.S. Virgin Islands. They have 19, right? Puerto Rico has 18. British Virgin Islands has 16. Trinidad has 15. Cayman has 15, right? Barbados has 13. Jamaica actually the second least. The least is Cuba with 10. Jamaica has 11. Right? So we're well down on the list. The idea that Jamaica has too much public holidays compared to the rest of the world is false. The most in the world is Nepal. Nepal has 34 public holidays. Iran has 26. Mexico has like 20. So we're well down for the number of public holidays. And if people are comparing us, so there's no way we can say Jamaica has too many public holidays. And plus, the proposal is not to increase the number of public holidays. It's not increasing. Right now we have public holidays on the 1st and the 6th. And sometimes they fall on a Tuesday and a Thursday. Like last Tuesday was Emancipation. And when you have a midday holiday, it's boring because nobody is going to go out if you have to work the next day. And the proposal is saying that if you have the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday guaranteed every year, people will never go out a lot more. A lot more visitors will come. A lot more people will come to visit their families.
Hear you loud and clear. Pastor
and I'll come back to the poll again. Donna Anderson took a poll commissioned by the Ministry of Culture. Asked people, because you can't just impose your views on people. You know, people might like an idea, but what does the majority think? That's always an important point. 62% said they like the 4-day holiday thing. Only 26% were against it. So the concept has wide public support.
And you're saying the Prime Minister must listen to the people.
Well, of course, what's the point? It's in a democracy. Right. The leaders should listen to the people. If you're not going to listen to the people, what are you doing in a democracy?
Hear loud and clear. Pastor Kennedy, based on all that has been said, are you still in support? Or were you?
First, and that's really thanks for the information that he's giving us in terms of holidays and other countries. You know, it's clear to me that as a minister of religion, I think biblically we can support the enormous contribution to a country's development and the country that celebrations can give. In Ecclesiastes 9 verse 7 it says, "Eat your goods with gladness and drink your wine with a joyful heart, for God has already approved of what you do." So it's very important, and I agree with Mr. Chang because perhaps a lot of the holidays, we have 11, he says, a lot of the holidays that we give to people are sitting down and deciding when they should get it. Maybe we need to listen to them some more, you know, and ask them when they want the holidays. But as you said, it can be quite boring, you know, sometimes. But if they get it when they want it, that can actually make a greater contribution to society. So I'm really excited by the suggestion, honestly.
Yeah, you seem to have some support there as well. I've seen a WhatsApp message here that we should also consider the fun in the sun, unity in the city.
Exactly. Yes, you can have a gospel. You can have a 4-day gospel fest. It doesn't have to be only a song fest, and you can have a 4-day gospel fest. Of course. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. How would you respond, gentlemen, to those who are saying, are you not commercializing the entire thing? Are we really thinking about commercial gain rather than at the time for reflection as a society on emancipation, what that means, and independence going forward? Pastor Kennedy and then Mr.
Well, what is wrong with that? We have a problem in terms of our economy, don't we? People talking about...
You're saying that nothing is wrong with commercialization?
In and of itself, no. There's nothing wrong with commercialization in and of itself. We can do a lot of things together. We can celebrate together. We can talk. We can deal with the spiritual, the emotional, the psychological, the social dimensions of things in tandem. I don't see why commercialization is a problem. I think some people jump and use certain terminologies. Afterwards, it becomes terminology. But I don't think commercialization is bad. If you're talking about things like legal concerns and matters of morals and so on, you commercialize that's different. I don't see anything wrong with that. Commercialize it. We're struggling as a nation in terms of our economy. Commercialize it. We can get money out of it. Why not? You know, it is.
Who gets the money though? Who gets the money out of that? Because it would mean if you have a holiday, that persons are not working for that period of time. So the economy generally, the wheels of industry are not turning.
No, but I'm saying if we get the kind of tourist influx, because we see the enormous contribution that tourism, for example, makes to our economy. If as Mr. Chang is saying, with the kind of response with the people, the aspirants are coming in, you might very well find that it does more for the economy than just a few days. You know, and he's not even advocating that.
There's not the tourists alone going to benefit and all of that?
I'm saying in terms of celebration, everybody benefits, but I'm saying in terms of commerce. You're talking about more foreign exchange, more visitors coming in, spend money. A lot more people, I think, based on what Mr. Chang is saying, I think that a lot more people will come in and spend money, because during times of celebration, people spend a lot of money. You know, that's what Jamaica needs. Jamaica's economy needs a boost. And why is that we're fighting over the tourist dollar? Why are we promoting tourism and so on? It's to get that foreign exchange. Why is it our economy is struggling? Because what? The foreign exchange is a problem. We don't have enough foreign exchange very often, and the rates go up. So I don't see why commercialization is not one of the ideal things in this instance.
Hear you loud and clear. Mr. Brancha?
Well, first of all, we're not working any less days. It's the same 2 public holidays. You're just rearranging the calendar. So it's not about more public holidays. It's the same amount. You're just taking the 1st and the 6th, making them the first Friday and the Monday. Remember, from 1962 to 1997,
Monday,
the independence was the first Monday in August. And it worked very well. Now, the introduction of Emancipation Day was a brilliant idea by Mr. P.J. Patterson, because that day needed commemoration for sure. It's more important than independence. It's one of the most historic days in the history of the world, when slavery was abolished in the entire British Empire. First time ever, a major power abolished slavery and freed the slaves in Jamaica and the Caribbean and the British Empire. So it's a historic day. It needed remembrance. But now with the 1st is established and the 6th, I'm saying yes, have a commemoration days of the events, but the holidays make it the first Friday and the Monday. And the thing is, I believe the commercialization is good. It will give more, you think of it, how many more tourists will come, how many people employed, but it will strengthen the culture. Listen, I'm a big boost of Jamaican culture, when I tell people what makes me proud about Jamaica is our culture. We are the world's smallest and youngest global cultural superpower. But it will strengthen it, because people will have more events, think people can go out more when you're not sleeping the next day. And even say Emancipation Day when you're working, people can dress up at work. I can tell I'm a business person, and I guarantee you that my book can promote Africa Day, where people dress up in African colors on the 1st, and then the 6th, if you work, you dress up in Jamaican colors. Right now, when we had the Tuesday last week, there was zero emancipation spirit. Had anything to do, and people hardly even go to your house and you have to work the next day. So there was no emancipation spirit. This would increase this. Right. You have to think about it more. Reflecting when you're thinking about something,
Yeah.
People think about it. They could get anything that work. So it strengthens the economy and strengthen the culture. This is not about weakening anything or commercial venture to commercialize and kill off. No, it's to commercialize and grow. You want to grow bigger and better. Jamaica is the vibest country in the world. We know. Look at the Grand Ghana. You could have more vibes than that, but we should have the world's best independence celebrations. The reason we don't, because it's too chaka. You have a Tuesday, a Thursday, a Wednesday. You can't have 4 days together right now. You had it together, the vibes would be unsurpassed in the world.
Just a clarification again, Mr. O'Brien Chang. If August 1, based on your proposal, falls on, that's Emancipation Day, falls on a Tuesday, right? Would that day be deemed a holiday?
No, the holiday change. No, commemoration day. The 1st and the 6th become commemoration days.
So there won't be a holiday based on your proposal?
No, there won't be holidays. No, the holidays would be the 1st Friday and the following Monday. No, if our Emancipation Day fall on the Friday, the holiday.
Why not? Why not holidays as well? See that you're saying we don't have enough.
I think we have enough. I think we have enough holidays in that period.
You're saying we don't have enough. We're saying that we...
No, we can make it other periods. What I'm saying is, you can make it other times when people want the holidays. Let's do a simple thing first, one step at a time, right? We can increase the number of holidays later. All this is saying is rearranging the calendar for now. A commemoration day, the 1st and the 6th. The commemoration is critical, The People have to know the roots they're coming from. And Marcus Garvey said, people of their roots can't know they can't grow. Right? So you have to know the day. So you can still have your commemoration. And I'm telling you, I believe it will strengthen the culture.
Yes. Hear loud and clear. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us. Interesting discussion on this whole proposal.
But the bottom line still, 62% want it. Prime Minister, listen to the people.
Have a safe day. Have a safe day. Thank you for joining.
All right. God bless.
Yes,
Hope
again tomorrow.
Good
as we
suggestion.
continue to set the stage for a discussion of topical and controversial issues. For information to get copies of this program, call our production department at 876-968-9596-7. This has been the Morning Watch. Thanks to our producer, Kathy Gale, and our guest. I'm Dylan Toussaint, and you're back to Love in the Morning with Joe Carl.